Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm African Gamer here. So today I've decided to make a Call of Duty Cold War video, and this is not like any other video I've done before. This is actually a review on the game, and this game is primarily for those who have not bought the game but are considering it. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned. So for today's gameplay, I'm coming at you guys with some Call of Duty Cold War gameplay. I haven't played this game in a little while, I'll tell you that, and I'm just playing against some bots, so please forgive me for playing against bots. Currently, I'm downloading something on my Xbox, and I think that interferes with the servers on Cold War and my internet connection to Cold War, so I just decided to play with bots. Hopefully, you guys will let that pass, but now let's get into the review. So for this video, I plan on breaking it into two parts. The first part being the pros of the game and the good positive things, and the second part being the bad stuff and the negatives of the game. Now let's start off with the positives. So for the first positive, in my opinion, would be the gunsmith. This may not be too much to other people, but to me personally, the gunsmith is huge because it pretty much defines the way you play. If you want to play sneaky, stealthy, you could have some sort of suppressor and different attachments to, accommodate for the suppressor. Or if you want to play like super quick, you can have a shortened barrel, you can have like grip tape. You can customize the weapon to your style of play, and I just love that, especially doing camo challenges and in general weapon challenges is much easier, especially with the gunsmith. So that's the first pro. Now for pro number two, it would be maps. Personally, I believe the maps are top tier, especially the not only the remix, but especially the originals, the brand new ones like Satellite, Moscow, Garrison even. Those maps are really solid in my opinion. I really like those maps because, since the game is fast paced, these maps cater to that, and these maps accommodate the fact that this game is not for camping, but for fast paced pushing and three-way lane maps, I believe they're called. In general, the maps are really good. We also get some remakes like Nuketown, but this type of remake is for the 1984 implementation, as this game respectively is taking place in. So it does have a different art and layout, but it still feels and looks like Nuketown as it's always been. And it's just an amazing implementation, possibly the best implementation, but that's all up for debate. Now we also got Raid back. Raid is a original Black Ops and Black Ops map, and Raid in general is just amazing, an amazing map. And it's if you're brand new to like gaming when it comes to Call of Duty and Black Ops especially, getting into Raid, you play one or two matches and you feel at home with it. It's such an easy map to learn, understand, and just memorize, and that's what I love about Raid. Just an amazing map period, and everything when it comes to the maps is really solid. That's that. Now for tip or for pro number three, I actually want to talk about the weapons. There's a lot of weapon variety. You got shotguns, you got you okay, pretty much you get at least like three of each pretty much tab when it comes to the weapons. So there are ARs, there are SMGs, sniper rifles, tactical rifles. There's a lot you can grind for, and in general, it's just beautiful to see. Especially with the gunsmith, there's just so much to do. I love how much you can grind for in the game, and especially when it comes to the weapons, the diversity, the damage change, the type of fire. There's so much diversity with the weapons. It's amazing. Now, the final one that I want to go over, the final pro, would be the fact that the gameplay at core, and keep that in mind when I say at core, the gameplay is really solid. It's very fast paced in contrast to Modern Warfare 2019, where that game catered and pretty much simped for campers and little noobs who are, losers pretty much, who just sit there and camp the entire game with like an Origin 12 shotgun, killing you at sight. It's sad to see that, and Modern Warfare was truly ruined by that, I heard. But at the end of the day, the gameplay in, Cold War is much better, much faster paced, and just much more enjoyable from what I've seen personally and from what I've seen in other people. Now, as I said before, keep in mind that I say this in core. I'm not saying the entire game is a complete joy and it's amazing. And just I'll get into that later in the bad stuff. But yeah, the core gameplay is really solid, fun, and just enjoyable, and it feels like a proper game. Now for the negative stuff. So when it comes to the negative stuff, there isn't as much bad stuff as good stuff, but it's the matter of quantity or how largely it impacts the game. In comparison, for example, let's say you're talking about the gunsmith. The gunsmith isn't a extremely huge factor of the game compared to something like the matchmaking or the skill-based matchmaking patterns, which I'll go over a little later. There, it depends on how much it impacts the game as a whole and the experience. So just keep that in mind when I say that there aren't as much cons, and I'll be going over that deeply in a little bit. Now, for the first con, I would say it would be bugs. Bugs are still in this game, and it's just saddening to see. But I will let this pass. Now, why I'm gonna let this pass? Because, as you guys know, most of you should know this. We are in COVID, right? This is the COVID era, meaning we are in lockdown, and respectively, the developing groups and the developing companies have to also be in lockdown. So with them being working at home and them, having possibly a struggle with it, it's nice to see that there aren't as many bugs as other games. Cough, cough, Cyberpunk 2077. I mean, this game is remarkable to see how many like bugs there are when it comes to how less they are at the current circumstance, but there are still bugs that are like somewhat game destroying. Like there are some zombies bugs where it literally completely reboots your console. That's happened so many times to me. I just had to like quit Cold War for a little bit and get back to it. There are other ones where, it completely crashes the game or it, makes it where your UI just completely freezes. Of course, these some of these have gotten fixed through the time, but some of them are still here. So bugs are still a primary issue that I feel as though they need to fix and pay attention a little more on. Now, the second con is what they care about. Now, this is primarily on Activision, so don't send too much hate to Treyarch. But when it comes to Activision, if you go to the store right now, if you go on Cold War, you go to the store, or if you go on Modern Warfare, or if you go to Warzone and go right to the store, it'll work perfectly fine. No bugs at all. Like that is the only good non-buggy, non-glitchy part of the game, right? And that's funny because they're not paying too much attention to the core game and the what the community has to say, and they're making it where the store runs perfectly well with absolutely no issues. I've never had an issue with a game store before in my life, right? It's insane, especially with Call of Duty. So that's just a little one that I wanted to put in. And this leads me to skill based matchmaking, which is the third issue and the biggest issue. As a matter of fact, this is the biggest speaking topic of this game. And for those who don't know, skill based matchmaking is a weird way of matchmaking where it, match makes you with people of your same skill, depending on how well you've been doing in the past couple of games. Now, this may sound good on the start, right? And I fell victim to that. But Activision is a very sneaky company. They've actually put in 5 different types of skill based matchmaking patterns to which completely ruin the experience. Now, one, for example, which is possibly the worst in my opinion, is the fact that depending on how well you do live in game. So, let's say you start up a match, you get into Nuketown 84, and you're shredding the lobby. All of a sudden, you'll either get some sort of like ping spike, which is your internet connection going down in the game for a brief second, or your bullets don't hit, or you get some sort of like nerf, or just some dumb stuff, right? Some crazy stuff happens to you in the match. That's not your connection, that's not your Wi Fi, that's not your Xbox. That's the skill based matchmaking patent within the game. So it's impossible pretty much for you to go on like a 30 or that's it's pretty much impossible for you to get like a 15 plus kill streak without hacking or without cheating or without reverse boosting. So this is a huge issue and this correlates to reverse boosting. This is a part of the skill-based matchmaking thing For those who don't know, again, skill-based for those who don't know, again, reverse boosting is a exploit that you can use within the skill-based matchmaking system, and it's pretty much where you kill yourself consistently on a really good match. You just die over and over or play like a complete bot for a couple matches to a few matches. That'll pretty much tell the system that you're not doing well. So that's going to send you to lower lobbies with newer players. Why I say this is an issue? Because if you're completely new to the game and you just bought the game and you get in, you're more likely than not going to get shredded by someone like a higher YouTuber or just some loser who lives at his mom's basement, because once you get shredded by them, there's no getting out of it, you know? People are still going to reverse boost. Activision can't really do anything about this. They can check your analytics and ban you off of that, but I don't think they've banned anyone yet or are even planning to. So it's just so easy to exploit. It's even dangerous for newer players. So in conclusion, what do I say about the game and is it worth it? Absolutely not. Don't even think about getting this game, all right? Personally, and not even just personally, just the entire community at this point completely despises Call of Duty Cold War, and specifically the skill-based matchmaking aspect, which completely ruins the game. On top of that, just the game is not fun at all. The campaign, it is really good in my opinion. The campaign is definitely like a top 10 or top 5 campaign. But after that, getting into multiplayer, it's possibly the worst experience in Call of Duty I've had. And all I've played for the entirety of the summer is Call of Duty Warzone. So yeah, it's just really weird. Call of Duty Warzone was good in my opinion, but just playing that battle royale consistently over and over does get boring over time. So that's why I put that into that correlation. But in general, just don't buy the game. It's not worth the $60. It's amazing to me how they put it at $60, but it's just definitely not worth $60. And you're pretty much putting your money down the drain. I doubt you'll ever even play this game because of how boring and horribly implemented it is. Nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. If you are new, please make sure to subscribe. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like it. Let's reach 50 subs soon. Y'all will get giveaways, so yeah, stay tuned. Nonetheless, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.